How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and first things first, I just want to say happy late Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Aggies and how they're now 6-0 after 2 consecutive wins in Cancun, 3 overall in the Cancun Challenge. Best start since the 1969-70 season, and that's when they went to the Final Four. So maybe this team has a chance to go to the Final Four. That would be really tough to do. I do think this team definitely has a chance at making the NCAA tournament. They have a lot of balanced scoring. We're going to talk all about their past couple wins right now. Their first game in Cancun was against UC Irvine, and you guys know how good of a team UC Irvine is. They only have a basketball team, no football team. So they honed in all their money on the basketball team. Last year they went 32-7, went far in the NIT tournament. I believe if they would have won one more game, they would have played in the championship game. So not a slouch at all. They're 4-4 to start the year. They won the game after they lost to us, but overall a really good win, 57-45. That was the game that the Aggies didn't shoot the ball well at all. Reminded me a lot of some games last year, but our defense came in really clutch. I think our defense has improved a lot every game this season, just as much as our offense, and I feel like each game we just got better. That's something we talked about a lot. This team just keeps improving, and I believe that if they win the next game against South Alabama, who's 6-1, really good team, and start the season 7-0, that's more improvement. Jamel Jones won MVP of the tournament, obviously leading the Aggies to victories in all games, only team to do so, and also the only team in Conference USA undefeated. Kennesaw State is now 5-2 along with Liberty. I believe Western Kentucky lost to Vanderbilt by only 1 point. Vanderbilt's ranked. They've been, I think, averaging like 98 points per game, had a few games over 100, so they're not a slouch at all. Western Kentucky's going to be really good. Some really good teams in this conference, which is why I think it'd be really cool if more than just one team would get in, because the Aggies have a great year and only lose like a handful of games and still not get in if they lose in the tournament. It sucks. It's not like the Mountain West where like 6 teams will get in, or in the Power 4, Power 5 level where, multiple bids are, accepted. Even though Jamel won MVP, he wasn't putting like a crazy amount of numbers. I mean, he had 12 points in both games in Cancun. Could have shot the ball a little bit better, but overall played well enough to get the wins. And that's another thing I've been telling everybody. We've been winning all these games with Jamel not playing his best brand of basketball the past couple games, still playing well, just not playing up to par where I know he can be. He's a guy that I think, as time goes on, he's going to have a lot more chances to score 20 plus. But for him to be playing still well enough and him not even being at 100% of his potential, and for us to still be winning these games against really good teams, I'll take it any day of the week. The Aggies did beat Georgia State as well after a slow start. They fell down 9-2. I think a big part of that was they played at 6 the night before, or 6:30 and then 1 p.m. the next day. So they had such a quick turnaround, probably why they got to such a slow start. But we're up by 9 at halftime. It was kind of close at first, and the second half they just pulled through. Had a lead as much as like about 30. Some of the bench guys got in at the end. It was nice to see Marco Doyle hit a 3. Some of the other guys were turning over the ball a little bit. Ended up winning by 19. I believe it was 77-58. Really good win overall. Jamel had another 12-point game. Julius Mims also made the all-tournament team. Averaged 9 points, 9 rebounds, just under a block game. Shot the ball pretty efficiently overall. Hit those 2 threes against Samford, like we talked about last video. Overall, put up a good stats. The score's been really balanced. We haven't had like one guy dominate, where he scored like a bunch of points. Obviously, in those first couple games, Jamel had 23 and 24. But in Cancun specifically, we didn't have a guy dominate like that. I know Julius against Samford had 17, but like I said, these past 2 games, our leading scorer was Jamel with 12, which isn't bad by any means. But the scoring has been really balanced. I mean, Jamel right now is averaging 16 points per game. Our only player on the team averaging double figures. Julius Mims comes in, averaging around 9.5. Anthony's averaging just under 9. Kyrie Smollen's up to about 5 points per game. We have a lot of guys in that 5 to 7 range. But as long as everyone continues to play their role and continues to get better, I think this is a team to watch out for. I think it's important to note that Augustine Ekwe did not play in these 2 games. I'm not too sure why not. I heard that it might have been something with his, passport issues or something like that. I'm not too entirely sure. But Mims played well, was able to kind of fill that role, played a little bit of the 4 and the 5. Sir Malanga, he's not playing too bad recently, playing his role. Again, I think eventually, kind of like Jamel, I think both those guys are going to have moments very soon where they start to, dominate even more, and Juice is going to continue to get better. The whole team's going to continue to get better. Really looking forward to it. Chris Terrell had a really good game as well. That first game against UC Irvine had 11 points. Elijah also had 11 points, which tied his season high. Chris, his 11 points, I believe, were the most he's had so far this season. First game scoring in double figures. And Chris Terrell's going to be a great player for us. And he's in a tough position, just like a lot of these guys. These guys that can score the ball pretty well, where they've been in the past, other colleges. It's not like in high school where they're the best player on the high school team growing up, and then they just get to college and all of a sudden they're not the guy. These guys have been the guy at their other college teams too, which makes it even harder. But it's good to see them develop and continue to get better. And you look at Chris playing great defense, getting a lot of steals. Jamel's improving a lot on the defensive end. I know coach has to be happy about that. He, talking about Jamel before the season, he was saying he's going to be really good offensively. I think everybody knew that, no secret to that, but his defense has been really good. And the whole team, I mean, Anthony's defense has been really good too. That's really impressed me. That's a big reason Hooten brought him in. His three-point shooting ability has also been really good. Hasn't shot as great the past couple games as he was at the beginning of the season, but you can't expect him to shoot like that every game. Overall, he's impressed me a lot. And, I wouldn't say proving the haters wrong. I know in that scrimmage against each other in the Mexican school, some people were saying like, oh, he's not looking that good. I knew as time went on and once these games start to matter, he was going to ball out. And he's doing that so far, 6-0 with a chance to go to 7-0 against a really good South Alabama team. They play against Abilene Christian, Tulsa. All those teams are doing really good. I think all three of those games are winnable, but they're also losable too. The Aggies have to come in, with a good mindset and not take anybody lightly. Just go in there, work hard. And I'm glad they did that with Georgia State. I know they got to that slow start, but I don't think that's because they went into it thinking it was going to be an easy win. I think they just, again, didn't have a whole lot of time to recover from the game previous. Georgia State, I believe, is 1-7 on the season. Their only win is against a non-D1 school, just kind of like UTEP, how they're 3-3, and their 3 wins are against all like D2, D3 schools. But anybody can beat anybody on any given night. So that's when we fell down 9-2. I think it just woke guys up. They did very well from there. The whole team played well. Jacoby had 10 points in that first game as well. First double-digit point game since being an Aggie. I think that's awesome since being in college. So I think he's a guy that's definitely going to continue to improve, finish at the rim. Gabe's doing really good. Had that 9-point outing. Made a 3. I think that's one of the first threes he did in the year. He's knocking out his free throws consistently. He attacked the rim, finished with contact, through the contact, instead of avoiding it. Really good. The whole team's improving. Very happy to see it. What I like as well is that this team's going to get some rest. They don't play until Tuesday, and then they play against, again on that Saturday. And I believe they have a whole week off until the next game, and they play against Sam Houston to start with conference play. It's crazy that conference play is going to be starting up, somewhat soon. Then they play against Southwest, and then all conference games. Right now they're 6-0 non-conference wise. They've already guaranteed a winning record non-conference wise, believe it or not. 6-0, they have 4 more non-conference games. And I feel like out of those games, they can, University of Southwest should be a win. If you lose that, there's a problem. That should be a win to get you 7. I think they added these next 3 before conference play starts. Again, I think they're all winnable. I think 2 of them for sure we can get with the way we're playing. So you're looking at a team that could possibly go 9-1 or undefeated, in non-con. And there's been a lot of guys that have been saying that they think we can for sure. And it's definitely not impossible. But, again, we're not playing no slouches. We have some tough teams coming up. Our only other, game that we should be able to win is University of the Southwest. Georgia State's a team, again, not too great. All the other D1 teams we played have been pretty solid. Obviously, conference play is always going to be tough. I feel like UTEP's a team that we can definitely sweep this year, watching them play a little bit. I know we just beat them in football, so I'm not trying to dog on them. But they're definitely a team that, still have a lot of chances to improve. Again, you're not going to be playing your best brand of basketball in November. You're hoping not to do that until February or March. I think some head coaches, I think it was Houston's head coach, Sampson, was talking about that. I think the biggest thing for these guys now is just staying level-headed. Yeah, they're 6-0, best start since 1969. That's great. But at the same time, they got to know that, hey, there's a lot of games left on the schedule. It's still early. They haven't won anything yet. Yeah, they're 6-0. They have a great start. But you want to make sure you're playing your best brand of basketball in March and winning games then when it matters most. That's going to close it out for the video today. Just want to give a quick recap on those games. It feels great being 6-0 for the first time in so long. It feels nice to get those Cancun wins. I feel like the past couple of years with under Coach Hooten, we played in those tournament games and haven't been able to win a lot of them. I think only one of them, and that was the home game against Northern Colorado a few years ago. So really nice to get these wins. I think they definitely have room to improve for sure. They're not perfect, and I think that's kind of scary. They're 6-0, but they still have room to improve. And once they make those improvements, they're going to continue to be a scary team to watch. I think I said in an interview with some guy from UNM, and I was even talking about it in some of the videos early in the year, that if we were playing against Kennesaw State and Liberty, who were picked to finish above us after those first few games, I thought we might struggle a little bit. Now, I'm not saying we wouldn't struggle, but I think we'd have a lot higher of a chance to beat them now, and especially by the time we play them in conference, starting January, February, March, and all that, or I guess it starts in December, but we wouldn't be playing those teams until the new year hits. I think we have a really good shot at making some noise. That's going to close out for the video today. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out.